Hello, Namaskar. I am Dr. Sagar Javle. I am a doctor who has turned scientist and developed this therapy called transcranial electrical stimulation of the brain, for which I received a patent a year ago from the government of India. And the protection will remain for 20 years. And buying or using the device without my notice for that much time will be illegal. So please take a note of that. What is this therapy and its device and its demonstration is a very detailed video is made and its link put in the description box. Please see that first and then come back to me for the specifically this particular video where I am going to discuss what is the role of this therapy in spiritual growth or in spirituality. So subscribe this channel, press the bell icon button and refer these videos for the deep seekers of the truth who want spiritual growth or maybe enlightenment. This can be an aid, an assisted device for meditation and samadhi. I have done 25 years research on this subject and tried all this thing on myself as well as on others. Tried the traditional also, tried this. So this therapy is naturally far more powerful than the traditional techniques because these things were not present at the time of Buddha and Mahavir or at the time of Shiva. That's why spiritual growth used to be so hard and difficult, but now it has become relatively easy. And what would have taken lifetimes to achieve could be achieved in few months or few years time with the help of these kind of therapies. So, what is the difference in the brain of ordinary person and brain of an enlightened being? If we understand that, then we will understand that how to make an ordinary person enlightened. This particular subject is labeled as neurotheology. So neurotheology is the branch of science which studies specifically this particular point, that what happens to the brain at the time of spiritual or religious experience. And with that knowledge we have found out certain things which I am going to tell you in brief. So what these studies tell, that when we are doing the mundane activity, routine activity, like I am doing now, I am speaking to you, or you are doing any worldly matter, any routine or mundane activity, these temporoparietal lobes are active. You can see this. These temporoparietal lobes are active, and there were certain monks and very spiritually elevated people, if not enlightened but elevated. They were put to meditate inside a functional MRI scan or inside a PET scan, positron emission tomography scan, and it was studied that when they enter into samadhi, when they enter into the oneness experience, oneness with the universe, or the experience of Aham Brahmasmi, when they enter that, what exactly happens to the brain was found out. So when these monks, they sat into the functional MRI scan machine and they started meditating and they started entering into samadhi. When they entered into samadhi, they pressed a bell and the machine starts, and immediately, so the scan is done before when you are not in samadhi, and when you enter the samadhi again scan is done and the difference is calculated. What they found is that when you are not in samadhi, the temporoparietal lobes are active, and moment you enter into samadhi, the frontal lobes get active, that to the prefrontal cortex, particularly this part called Sahasrara Chakra in spirituality. But so this particular part, temporoparietal junction on both the side, that is responsible for ego, and when that is paralyzed and the focus falls to the prefrontal cortex, then you transcend the ego and go beyond it. So when I studied that, I immediately reverse engineered it and created a therapy so that we can very easily go into samadhi. Now with this technique, any ordinary person on the planet can experience samadhi, which was practically impossible once upon a time, because this ego is so strong that it simply does not allow your frontal lobes to be activated. So your frontal lobes are actually sleeping. You have frontal lobes, but they are not active. So when you paralyze them or calm them down, automatically the focus falls at prefrontal cortex, called Sahasrara chakra in the yogic language. So to enter into samadhi, so this is basically a PhD level study and PhD level therapy for entering into samadhi. Is not everybody's cup of tea. It is for dedicated people, although there is no risk in it, but it's not for ordinary people. People who have deep interest into that, only they should try for it. Others can try, but since there is no interest, then they are going to miss it. So this machine is so versatile that it can do, we can put, these are the electrodes. The black side goes to the brain. Put the ECG gel, spread it all. There is only that part where the ECG gel, only that will get activated. Okay, then wear a head strap which is provided, and inside the head strap put the electrodes from below like this. The exact location I will be giving on the website. So what you can do is just try this temporoparietal lobes on both the sides. And duration should be 90 minutes, because it takes that much time to enter into samadhi. 15-20 minutes will not do. What frequency to use? We want to calm down this area, so the frequency should be just 2 cycles per second. Now this machine has the lowest is 2 cycles per second. You cannot go below that, and if you go below that, you will go into deep sleep. So that is alright, 2 cycles per second. Moment you calm down this, you automatically start seeing that blue light and you start entering into samadhi. Okay, so separately stimulating the frontal lobes may not be necessary. Intensity use should be not more than 3 to 5, because above that the burning starts at the electrodes. So you won't be able to bear that. So I have told you the duration, I have told you the frequency, I have told you the intensity, I have told you the location of the electrodes also. So this is one type. Every time you do this, try to enter into samadhi. You will have great results. I do it a lot of times with great results. Second option, which is more advanced, is instead of 2, put 4 electrodes. So the machine has 2 channels. One channel has 2 electrodes, so put 2 electrodes here and 2 electrodes here. So now you have 4 electrodes under this head strap. Now for these electrodes we want to inhibit, so put frequency as 2 cycles per second and put here the frequency of 10 cycles or 30 cycles per second. So what will happen? This will be inhibited and this will be stimulated simultaneously. I don't think any machine in the world can do that. This is the only machine that can do. Okay, so this is the second option. As I said, this may not be necessary, but just 2 electrodes here with 2 cycles per second may be enough to enter into samadhi and meditation. But in case somebody is deeply interested, you can use 4 electrodes. calm down this, inhibit this, and stimulate this, so that you are exactly reverse engineering a brain of a monk who knows this lifetime he has done 50 or 60 years of meditation, plus they say many previous lifetimes. That person can go into that state that any ordinary person can go with the help of this technology. This is the beauty of it. The third option is a vagal stimulation, because vagus nerve controls the excitability of the cerebral hemispheres. When you stimulate the vagus nerve, the cerebral hemispheres, they calm down, and as they calm down, as the mind calms down, you can go beyond the mind and experience the formless. That is the idea. So the third option is stimulate the vagus. I have specifically made a video for vagal stimulation. Please see that, it has more details, because vagal stimulation is done for a lot of disease conditions. Here I am recommending vagal stimulation for meditation and samadhi, which is very new. Beyond the angle of the mandible here, where my finger is placed, there the first electrode is put, second electrode is put on your shoulder on the same side. So one here, one here. Now these electrodes cannot be used for vagal stimulation. So I have supplied you with separate two cables like this. What you do, remove this cable, put it here. So you have two such electrodes now, and instead of this, use these electrodes. These are available, these are disposable, one time use. You can use it 2-3 times also, but my advice is use only once. It is only 2 rupees. You get on a medical store or on Amazon. Put one here, attach this electrode on this knob here, press it hard, put one here and put one on the same side shoulder. That is how you can do the non-invasive vagal stimulation to calm down the brain and enter into samadhi. Do it on the left side only, because right side there are branches to the heart. So although you stimulate left vagus, the nucleus is in the brain is common. So although you stimulate the left vagus, both the brain hemispheres calm down. It is not just the opposite, but both calm down. So this is a very new idea, non-invasive vagal stimulation for samadhi or meditation, that I have introduced for the first time in the spiritual literature. So you can take the advantage of that. There are no side effects. There can be burning at the electrodes. Again, for vagal stimulation, the frequency should be 30 or 50. 30, 40 or 50. Intensity should be 3 to 5. Duration 30 minutes. Increase by 10 minutes, go up to 90 minutes. That's all. So you can try this and see what happens. It is very safe, but patients who have very severe heart disease, like ejection fraction is just 15 or not suitable for bypass, such patients should not try this. Not because the therapy is dangerous, but such patient can die and the blame will come on therapy unnecessarily. So I am advising you not to do that. If your heart is repaired, like bypass is done successfully, angioplasty is done, you can still use vagal stimulation. But uncontrolled, the doctor has told no treatment can be done or you can die anytime, such patients should not try. So that disclaimer I am giving you very carefully. Please don't blame me for that. So in the description box below I have put my website link. On the order page you can order the device, the personal number, there's a WhatsApp number and my email, and contact me only for those things which you have not understood in the video and the material on the website. So it's a personal number, please don't misuse that. And if you have great benefit, please make a video and send a testimonial to me so that other people can take the benefit. as I can see that there is a very great amount of interest in spirituality nowadays, and huge number of people want to experience samadhi, but it's not possible with the traditional techniques. So an aid like this is highly essential. So those people who have deep interest in spirituality can try this device. Please make this video viral to all the seekers of the truth and people who are deeply interested in spirituality, so that they are benefited. So the therapy works 100%. I have tried on myself. I have been doing sadhana myself last 25 years. I have been doing research in spirituality. 100% it works. But still, I would like to know what is your experience. So please let me know that. So I think that's enough in this video. Thank you very much.